screaming. They won it by 4 in the end.
American Anthem has taken off. American Anthem easily in the Woody Stevens.
Hi everybody, welcome to Spa Babies, presented by WinStar Farm. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and Thursday's Spa Baby race is the finale. We're going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf, so let's take a look at the field for New York bred maidens. These are 2-year-olds. It is a big field. It's an interesting race from a handicapping standpoint as these young 2-year-olds try a distance of ground.
Yeah, I think it is very interesting. A lot of them stretching out for the first time, a lot of them trying turf for the first time, a lot of questions, and a few of these emerging from the same race, which is sort of an interesting thing to look at, which we'll get to in a bit.
Morning line favorite is the main track only runner, Honor Up, the number 13 at 8-5. In the body of the race, the favorite is the 5 Phone Funky Monkey, who comes out of that common race, and we'll get to Phone Funky Monkey in a bit. But let's take a look at the pedigree card of the number 1 Wicked Huntsman. This one is by Desert Party. If you go back in this female family, there is a lot of class and speed.
Very much so. This is the family that's produced horses like Champion Sky Beauty, Champion Sprinter, Gold Mover, definitely speed in the family. By Desert Party, a grade 2 winning 2-year-old here himself. So definitely some juvenile ability there, but this one hasn't shown much speed yet in 2 6-furlong starts on the dirt. I'm wondering if this added distance might help him get his feet underneath him and have something up front to run at.
Blinkers on for trainer Mitch Friedman, who has a winner at the Saratoga meet. This dam has thrown 1 turf winner already. Good inside post. I would expect additional speed and maybe a nice trip under Dylan Davis. 30-1 on the morning line, but as Nicole mentioned, this horse must improve off of the 2 dismal dirt outings. The number 2 is Can't We All Get Along? And as we see from the pedigree card, this is by the young stallion Violence. This one went through the auction ring 3 times, most recently selling for $40,000 back in April. What do you think of Violence's prospects as a turf stallion?
Well, we've speculated that, he should be able to get a turf horse. He hasn't had many opportunities to do so yet. But, Violence is by Medaglia d'Oro, who has certainly sired good turf horses like Marketing Mix, Dickinson, Medaglia d'Oro from the El Prado line, which of course is a turf line responsible for the likes of Champion and leading turf sire Kitten's Joy. So it remains to be seen if Violence has picked up that hidden turf ability, but I certainly think there's no reason to throw this one out here. The broodmare sire Mizwaukee probably adds a little bit of turf ability as well. And man, this is a nice family. The dam is a half to, I think, one of the most brilliant and underrated runners of the 90s in Formal Gold.
Yeah, Formal Gold was a good handicap horse on the dirt, but there's also turf in this family. The dam won on the turf, and she has already foaled a turf winner. Can't We All Get Along? Sort of an even performance in his turf debut last time out, wheeling back on relatively short notice for trainer Gary Contessa. The number 3 is Bourbon For Me, and as we look at the pedigree card, this one is by Congaree, who connects with 10% of first turf runners. What do you think of Congaree as a turf stallion? He is a veteran stallion.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly had some nice turf runners. Geronimo, who was a grade 1 winner, he can get a good juvenile runner. He had the grade 1 winner Killer Graces. They sort of run on a little bit of everything, I think. And this one in particular showed little on the debut, but the debut was a race that was taken off the turf. So that indicates to me that the connections had intent there to try the turf. So I'm wondering if this one will take a step forward second time out here.
Dam one on the turf at 2. There is a strong turf presence in this female family. Lasix on for start number 2, and Junior Alvarado, a top turf rider, gets the call. I'd expect better from the 3, Bourbon For Me. Let's take a look at the number 4, Now a Factor. This is a first-time starter trained by Michael Maker. Now a Factor is by The Factor, and a lot of times we talk about hidden turf sires. Let's explain to some of the folks what a hidden turf sire is expected to be, and if The Factor is one of them.
Well, a hidden turf sire, they're really interesting if you can figure out how to spot them. And a great example is More Than Ready, who we always talk about, WinStar stallion. More Than Ready never ran on turf in his own career, but he's by Southern Halo from an international type sire line, and he's been able to tap into that to sire a good number of turf performers like Breeders' Cup winners Pluck and Regally Ready. The Factor is another one who I think could be a hidden turf sire. Never ran on turf in his own career, Grade 1 winning sprinter, but he's by Warfront, by Danzig, and that's been such a good sire line for throwing these turf-type international performers. So I think the Factor can get you a turf runner, and I think there's a lot to like in the female family on this one as well.
He has certainly gotten off to a nice start, the Factor, with his turf runners. 18% winners from first-time turf runners. And as you mentioned, there is some turf in this female family, and Michael Maker has given this horse several long, slow workouts, perhaps to build stamina for the career debut in this two-turn race. The 5 is Phone Funky Monkey, and we've seen these experienced horses really have an edge in two-year-old races at the Spa. It was not an easy debut spot for Phone Funky Monkey, going 2 turns on August the 9th. I thought he acquitted himself quite well. And when you look at this family, he's by the young stallion Datalink, who is a good turf runner, and a lot of turf and class in the bottom of the pedigree.
Yeah, very much so. First crop of Datalink, who is a Grade 1 winner on turf, by Warfront, who we just referenced. I'm really going to be curious to see what Warfront's sons do at stud. This is the family of Canadian champion turf horse Hasten to Add, the Grade 1 winner up in Canada. See how she runs. It's a nice, classy family. And certainly there's no reason to think that Phone Funky Monkey can't move forward off that debut at this identical trip. But as we mentioned, several coming out of that race.
Very game for third in the career debut is Phone Funky Monkey for a trainer, David Donk, with that excels with 2-year-olds on the turf. You can make the argument that based on his career debut, he is the one to beat. Datalink is also represented by the number 6 News Anchor. News Anchor was a $100,000 yearling purchase that was bought back for $120,000 in March. I look at this pedigree, and you obviously have Datalink on top, but for me, there's a lot of dirt on the bottom.
Yeah, you see a lot of dirt stakes performers on the bottom. The dam is a half or a full to 3 stakes winners. A lot of dirt there. This is a first-time starter from Shug McGahee's barn, and those usually run better with a start or 2 under their belts. A lot of times what we see is trainers will put a horse in on the turf just for the opportunity to go 2 turns, because those are the opportunities that exist at this time of year. But the horse will be better, down the road doing something else. So I'm wondering if this one is here to get his feet wet.
That's a very good point about Shug's 2-year-olds. Over the past 5 years, with 2-year-old debut runners on turf, the great McGahee is only 0 for 29. The number 7 is English Chanicle by turf champion English Channel. This horse has started twice, has not shown much. Perhaps blinkers on will motivate him a bit more.
Might spark him up a little. Finished 7th in the Phone Funky Monkey race last time out. This one, though, I do think is going to want to go longer down the road. English Channel, a turf champion, long-winded sort of horse, terrific turf horse. The Dam, a very productive race mare, won from 7 furlongs up to 1 mile and a 16th, mainly on turf. Her first starter was a winner at 2, but I think this one is going to enjoy going longer, I think.
He does have experience. He gets blinkers for the first time, but he does have to improve, and maybe, as Nicole mentions, more distance will work out for the 7 English Chanicle. The number 8 is Fun Prospect, going out for a top trainer in Graham Motion. This horse has sprinted twice, so when you look at this pedigree by Patio Prado, the additional distance should be okay. I like the blinkers on as well.
Yeah, very much so. And, he did run kind of a sneaky good race last time. Took a big leap forward from a buyer standpoint when trying turf for the first time. Stretching out to 2 turns now. Being by Patio Prado, who is a Grade 1 winner on turf. A good turf runner who sires turf runners. You would expect him stretching out to be okay. The Dam is a full sister to the stakes winner Fort Pond, who's the dam of multiple Grade 3 winner Fort Prado by Patio Prado, sire El Prado. So this one bred on a similar cross as a really nice turf horse.
Really nice turf pedigree, blinkers on, experience, good trainer, lots to like with the 8, Fun Prospect. I think the 9, Nate Can't Wait, is a sneaky colt. This one is by Mission Impassable. As we take a look at the pedigree card, he has run once on the dirt, and he had the misfortune to catch an extremely inside speed-favoring track. Nate Can't Wait was out-sprinted early, came wide on the turn, and passed some tired horses late. I think that was an okay effort. Is there enough turf for Nate Can't Wait? The Dam won 4 times on the surface.
The dam did win on turf, so certainly the ability is there. A lot of the class in the family is on the dirt, though. Mission Impossible, who we've talked about, very good young sire in New York, currently the leading 2-year-old sire in the state with horses like Pure Silver out there. The dam's a half to a multiple stakes winner on dirt in Lovely Sin. The dam won on turf, so can she throw that turf ability, or is she the exception in the family? That's the big question, I think, with this horse.
The number 10 is Banker's Island, another second-time starter by the young classic winner Shackelford. There's some class in this family. The dam was Grade 3 stakes placed. She is kin to 6 black-type earners, but most of those horses did their best running on dirt.
Very much so. And, the dam has been a very productive broodmare. She's got 5 winners from 6 starters, most of those multiple winners, but none of those have come on the turf. Shackelford is turning into kind of a sneaky little turf sire. He's had some winners on turf out at Arlington and out in the Midwest. So they're not, even though he did all his work on dirt, they're not automatic tosses. But to me, this female family leans much more heavily toward the dirt.
The number 5, Phone Funky Monkey, arguably the horse to beat in Thursday's Spa Baby Race, the finale. Where are you heading, however?
You know what? I'm really interested in a couple of the first-time starters in here, including Now a Factor. I think there's a lot to like about this one first time out of the gate. We mentioned the Factor as a turf sire. The dam's got 3 winners from as many starters, including a full sibling to this one who is a winner. The second dam was a Grade 1 winner at 2. Maker trainee. We know Mike Maker can train a good turf horse, getting Jose Ortiz for the debut. Fun Prospect, as we mentioned for Graham Motion, did take a big step forward trying the turf from a speed figure standpoint. I love that cross. I think this one's going to continue to improve with the extra distance. And coming out of that Phone Funky Monkey race, I think you might get a bit of value from the horses who finished behind him, including Can't We All Get Along? How about you?
I'm with you on the number 4, Now a Factor. I really love the pedigree. I love the Factor as a potential hidden turf stallion. Solid connections, as you mentioned. Nice price on the morning line, 6-1. In multiple race wagers, I would use the 4, Now a Factor, and the 5, Phone Funky Monkey as A's. And my B's would be 2 of the experienced runners, the 7, English Chanical, and the 8, Fun Prospect. I'd go 4, 5, 7, and 8 in Thursday's Spa Babies event. It's race number 10 at Saratoga, and we are presented by WinStar Farm.